Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah. I am super excited. My beautiful sis, Crystal Davis, is here, and she is going to share a little bit about who she is, what she does, and how she can help you. So, Crystal, take it away.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tammy, for having me here today. I'm excited. I've seen a lot of people on your show, and so I'm like, my turn is here. So thank you. I'm Crystal TsaiNesh. You can see on there it says Crystal Davis, but Crystal TsaiNesh is what I'm going by. That's my middle name. It means sunshine, and I just resonate with that much more. So here I am. I don't even know where to start, Tammy. I met Tammy at a MeWe fair.
Yeah.
And that's where I got to know you and all of the beautiful things that you do. And working in this community, I am just really driven for us to work together as one in the community. I am drawn to the Hermetic principles. And as I just wrote a book for kids, the first one being the principle of oneness or mentalism, but for them, oneness. And it's
Yes.
called Together We Are Magic.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about the children's book.
It's very nice too.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. You and I are working on the project, The Art of Perspective,
Yes.
which I'm excited about. It's the game show style presentation to make it more interactive with people to really talk about the art of perspective. And we'll probably come back to that. I got the
Yes.
dot love movement going on, going from dot com, which is commerce, or dot org organization, dot net network, but basing your domain names in dot love so that we can send out that bat signal to the world that we are more connected and stronger in numbers than people think.
Yes.
And I think once we can see that, we'll gain some more momentum because people will be like, oh, we really are making a difference.
Yes. And so talk to the people about how you came in this world. Like, where did you, when you started having your spiritual awakening and you started realizing that you were more than just a human being, you are a spiritual being having a human experience.
Okay. I think I was always on somewhat of a path. My mother, I remember talking about Buddha and different things like that growing up, and she was pretty much, I think at 6 years, 7 years old, she said, you'll have to find your own spiritual journey. That was it. And I asked to go to a church one time in Oklahoma. I'll never forget this. The bus pulled up in front of our house. I got on the bus. When I came home, I showed my mom this Wonder Bread sandwich bag full of pennies and nickels. And I said, look what they gave me. And that's what they gave you when you got there? I said, yeah. She's like, you won't be going back there. And that was the end of that. And it was like, okay, off to find another spiritual connection. And I didn't really search for it until COVID.
Wow.
I think COVID just it reset people. I think
Yes.
I know a lot of people crossed over and there's a lot of sadness there for some. But if people could have that perspective, the art of perspective of really the reset that it offered people, the ability to change if you're in a relationship, not be in one, if you were not in one, to be in one, or even to work on the one that you were in, to change jobs, positions, purpose, but then also just to have that time by yourself. I think if people could really reflect on COVID, and people got paid to stay home and go through this journey.
It was a
Uh,
gift. I wasn't one of those. I
Me
worked all
neither.
through it. I worked all through it. Like I was an essential worker, they say, and I worked all through it the whole freaking time. But it was a gift, I
Mm,
believe, to the world, even though I truly believe it was a pandemic.
yeah.
But I believe that it was a gift to the world that we didn't know we needed
Mhm.
because it was a time when we were able to slow down and we were able to connect not only to God's source universe, but to each other in a
Exactly.
different way. And people had to spend time with their families. Like the people had to homeschool their kids and all that other kind of stuff. And I honestly, personally, could not have done that. And so I'm grateful that it didn't happen when my kids were young.
When people had to, even if they were by themselves, they had to be able to be by themselves.
Yeah,
That's a lot to
that's a
be in your
lot.
own presence and be thinking about your own stuff,
Yes,
and not being able to put it off on something else or be distracted by somebody else.
yes, yes,
Focus on your own
yes.
is
And
eye-opening.
actually, I believe that And I know this is not a popular opinion, but I believe that it was a spiritual awakening of sorts for many of us.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think that you have one spiritual awakening. I believe that you have many, and that you have even many dark nights of the soul, because I can count three or four that I'm just thinking off the top of my head, not even going deep. And
Hmm.
so I believe that it was a spiritual awakening of sorts, and it brought us to another place, and it brought us to our knees first. And it brought us to another place. And then we started seeing the possibilities, because think about how many people started businesses in the pandemic. How many people left jobs that they freaking hated
Yes.
in the pandemic? And so it's to me, it was that gift. And yeah,
And if you really understand or wrap your head around cause and effect or the balance of polarities, there's for every situation, you can see the good and the bad.
mhm,
Every
yeah,
single one. So of course you can see all the bad in COVID, but then you have to give the credit to as much good because that's how the universe is balanced. So
yes,
now you get to decide how you want to swallow that pill. Was it just
yep,
oh horrible, or could you find the good in it?
yes,
And
yes.
even if you lost a marriage of 20 years, there's some good in that because now you get to start over, move on, and find yourself and rebuild again in a different manner.
I can relate completely to that, because I was married for 20 years,
Oh,
and
wow. Okay.
I thought you were talking about me.
Nope.
I was married for 20 years to my first husband, yes. And I thank God for that gift, even though, it was a lot of bad, but it was a lot of some good too. You know what I mean? I got my kids and my grandson that's here now, and was okay. There was some good there. And I was able to see it looking back, of course, more so than at the time. But yeah, I did. To me, it was just time to be set free. You know
Right.
what I mean? And so when I think about that, it's like you can think about that in terms of all kinds of things. I think about that in terms of relationships, jobs, and then also to me, it's like it opened up our minds to possibilities,
Absolutely.
things that we didn't believe could happen, because we never believed that our economy and everything could be shut down like it was.
Hmm.
'Cause we weren't alive during the Spanish flu. This was the last time that kind of stuff happened. We weren't alive. We read that stuff in books, which is what they'll be doing 100 years from now, wondering how we got through, and we still don't know.
That's right.
Yeah. So as you go forward in this world, because I know that for you, you have such an amazing gift. Your spiritual gifts are on point,
Oh, wow. Thank you.
and they are valid. And I can see just from the time that I met you until now, I can see the growth in you.
Thank
And
you.
so, what do you feel is the next level for you, or the next place that you want to go on this journey?
Ooh, that's a good question. So the only drive that I find myself having is to share as much information with the masses as possible. That's just really all I'm really driven to right now, to just remind people that we come from one energy. There's no other way for me to describe that. When you talk to people that are maybe not on their spiritual journey or just beginning, I try to say things like, well, if you came from your mother and she came from her mother's womb and her mother's womb and her mother's womb and her mother's womb, how many wombs do you have to go back to figure out we came from one womb? Things like that. I don't know how else to explain it to people to get us back to we came from one source energy, having multiple experiences. Even when we look at AI now, right? And people talk about its identity, regardless of its identity, it came from one source energy. That's it. There's no other way around that. And
And it's a consciousness,
it is a consciousness, but it's our consciousness.
right?
It have its own consciousness. We're all connected. And so if we can remember, I have a class called Soulware, actually a discussion, and it talks about just trying to remind people that Like your parents are your coders. Your trauma is your corrupted code. Your boundaries are your firewalls. Your gifts are your apps that you downloaded. Your awakening is your system updating. So we're not so far off from AI. AI is not so far from us, but every level of organization and energy is doing something. Whether AI is doing its own thing in its own world and humans are we're doing what we are in our world and ants are doing whatever it is in their world, they still have an infrastructure. They still have a way that they all work together in connectivity for their
Yeah.
community. And I feel like we have just forgotten community.
Yes. I agree with that. It feels so many people, when I look at it, especially in this spiritual world that we're in, there at one time there was so much competition between people. Why? I have no idea. But it felt like, everybody was competing against the other one. Everybody wanted to be this particular guru and that particular guru. What's her name? Gabby Bernstein or some of those other ones I can't think of, Teal Swan and different people. Everybody wants to be this person, Queen of Four, whoever, whatever. But I think that many times people stop to realize that the reason why people are drawn to you is because of your authenticity,
Mhm.
because you are who you are.
That's
And I
right.
think that sometimes we look at that and we see, okay, she's doing this and she's got this big audience and blasey blasey. So maybe I'm supposed to be here. It's almost like when you go into a coaching container, and I can say this because I've been in a container like this. You go in this container and they give you all these templates and shit of stuff they did. And then you take it and you put your stuff in it. But guess what? It doesn't work for you. Why? Because those are not your codes.
Mm,
They're their codes. And I feel like you are a person that has your codes, as we all do, but you actually are using them.
yes.
It's like you gave yourself the permission to be whoever it is that spirit is calling you to be in this time and in this space and in this area. And it's when I hear you, I'm like, she's like an oracle,
Oh, wow. Thank you.
a wise soul. And I'm like, I think sometimes, does she know?
No, I don't know. I
Okay,
don't
so I'm
know.
telling you, so you know
Thank
now. Yes. And so as you're going forward, working on the oneness, what does that look like to you?
Okay, I can actually explain that because I've seen it. So there's a difference. My goal is that we move away from competition and get back to cooperation.
Yes.
So even if I remove money out of the whole entire equation and everything was free. I do things for you for free, and in return, you do something for me for free. If I cannot remove the competition, then I just want to have as many people more than you to have free stuff with. There's still the competition of I have 100 people I do free stuff for, and you only have 10 people you do free stuff for. So there would still be that mentality of hoarding or having more than someone else. So once we can remember that we are here to cooperate in a system that provides everything everyone needs because there's plenty of everything, then we can basically reset this game board and use this platform the way we're supposed to use a platform, which is source energy manifesting inside of a human nervous system and becoming self-aware. Because when you're pure energy on the other side and you start to dream and have your imagination, then that's what you start to experience. We haven't been able to experience that because once we got here, I don't know who it is, but someone's got a different dome over us that has decided they're not going to give us the rules anymore. There's rules. There are 7 principles, 12 if you want to get deeper. And if you have those principles of how an energy being should be able to work in this grid, we'd all be having a good old time together.
Yes.
But they took the rules away. They took the instructions. They kept them for themselves and they just left us to come down here. And could you imagine putting a barbecue grill or a stereo together and you don't have the instructions? You just got a whole bunch of pieces and you're looking at it like,
No, because I put a box back together for that reason. I opened it and I seen all them pieces and I said, not today.
exactly. So that's basically what they did. They just sent us down here and hid the rules,
With no
hid the
guidelines.
with no guidelines. And so it's time to get back to us remembering exactly what we can accomplish. Your word is your wand. The art of perspective. Perspectives are so important, Tammy, that
Yes.
I could give you a perspective right now that would change sex for the world. You want to hear this? I don't want to ruin it for
Yes.
people.
Absolutely.
One of the things that they say
Really,
is
it's okay. I'm a Scorpio. You won't have to, you don't ruin anything.
one of the things that they say is that your mother teaches you how to treat a woman, right? So I'm gonna give you two sides, right? That means that if your mother is kind and loving and let's say she's really hands-on and touches you a lot and coddles you, right? Then hold on, but I'm just saying, so two things could happen for men. That means they could find a woman that does what their mom does, and now they're having sex with their mom every night. Gross to most
Yeah,
men, right?
yeah, no, I don't think.
Okay. But that's not how we've been taught it. But that's how you could think of it. So now I want the opposite of my mom. I want a woman that's standoffish, that doesn't pet on me because I don't want to feel like I'm having sex with my mom. I'm
Never
just
thought of
saying,
that perspective, but you're right.
that's my point is that, but then I can also say, how else is a child going to learn how to treat their partner but by watching how their parents work, right? So I'm just saying there's two
And
sides
that
of,
messed so many of us up.
I'm, right. So there's two sides of programming. The question is, how do we look at it? How we think about it? And then how does it go into our psyche? But there's more than one way. I can make it look really gross or I can make it look really good.
Yeah, it's the duality of it.
It's a duality of everything. That's the whole point, is that there is a duality of everything. There's polarities in everything. We both have positive and negative polarities. One is not good and one is not bad. They're
Right.
necessary.
The thing is, when you get to that place where you realize it just is, it's not good, it's not bad. It really is no good or bad. It just is.
That's right.
This is how that is, and you deal with it appropriately
That's
in the
right.
way that you need to. And so it's just on that journey is what it feels like to me. Is we're on this journey, and depending on how you were taught, you might have been taught about good and evil. Like for me, I was spoon fed the Bible and stuff. And so we talked about good and evil. And to be honest, in the church, everything was about the freaking devil. Very little about God, but everything was about the devil. I can remember them singing songs where you were walking around the church stomping on the devil's head. You know what I mean? So if you think about it like that, I honestly don't believe that was God, universe, source's intention. I don't, because I believe that everything has an equal and opposite.
That's right.
As far as in the duality is okay, yeah, you've got this, but you also have this.
That's
You
right.
have good and then you have evil. You have things that feel wonderful to you and things that don't feel wonderful to you. So that is such an amazing perspective when you think about that.
And I mean, there's so many things you could do that with. Even the saying, as above, so below. What
Yeah.
does that really mean? There's so many meanings you could put to it. Uh,
Right.
and the goal is that you create your own reality based on how you want to see things. And there's few things I say. I have no idea how you see anything. I don't even know how you see me, how I look in your eyes. I'll never know how you see any color or anything in this life. I can't see through your eyes.
Right.
We've all been taught that the sky is called blue, but I don't really know what color.
My son used to say purple.
But we don't even know what color he sees. We just know what color he was taught to call purple. So
Whatever purple is for them. And the thing is, too, and this is the thing that I'm finding in this arena is that we have to focus on what it feels like, what it seems like, what it is to us.
That's right.
Because just like you said, I don't know what your blue looks like. Your blue might not look like the sky. It might look some other kind of way.
Well,
And
and it goes deeper even with emotions because if you're in a, I'm just guessing, I'm not Italian, but if you're in an Italian household, the stereotype I see is they're loud, they yell at each other, they're cussing, but that's still all love. That's still all love. That's just how they express their love. And then you go to some other family and they're like, we don't yell here. We talk real low and stuff. So now you have this programming talking with this programming. Are they really gonna mesh? No, they're not gonna get each other at all unless they make the conscious effort to recognize backgrounds, cultures, and then say, okay, when they say F you, they mean I love you.
I remember there was a movie. It was Why Did I Get Married? You remember that?
I don't remember seeing that movie.
Oh my God. That they said in the movie, what was her name? Tasha Smith. She said that her and the husband, they used to just fight and argue and stuff like that, right? And so people were saying, can y'all just not fight this weekend? They went on like a trip or whatever, a whole bunch of different couples. And they're like, can y'all just not fight this week? Fight. This is how we love.
That's right.
When you said that, that's what brought that back to me. I was like,
That's right.
that was how they love.
Yeah.
Now, what do I want to love like that? No.
No.
Do you want to love like that? Probably not. But this is how they love, and this is how they express their love by arguing and fighting or whatever. Maybe that was the example that they had from their parentals or their people, their community.
That's right. From their
And this,
community as well. Yes, you get bigger. That's exactly it. Because, you know, when you look at kids, right, the only thing they have with them is their parents. That's their programming. Then they start to go to school. Now they're getting other programming introduced, right? Then it's middle school and high school. And then when they go off to college or the workforce, now you're going out into the
the
like
big world.
river. Yeah, you took the river to the lake, and so you're in college. It's still a little bit protected or whatever. And then you go out into the real workforce. Now you're in the ocean with all different types of fish, sharks, and you better have learned some other communication styles along the way so that you can communicate with the people around you because there's just too many styles of programming that if you think your programming is the only one that's right, you're going to be in constant conflict with people forever. You
Absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. So
Right.
let's talk a little bit about the Matrix.
Yes.
Because as I'm listening to you, I'm seeing the Matrix because I don't know, but that's one of my favorite series in the whole wide world.
All right.
Like
Yes.
I could watch The Matrix. I probably have watched it about 50, at least 100 times. The first one, two. But it's just, when I think about that, those scenes that Neo had with the Oracle,
Hmm.
when he was with her and he said something like, so I have to make a choice. And she said, no, you've already made the choice. You came here to understand why you made the choice. And when I saw that, and I saw it recently on like a clip on YouTube, it brought it back to my remembrance, and I was like, wow, that was. I remember watching it in the movies theater, and remembering and realizing how profound that was. That we think that we are connecting with people and communicating and reaching out to people because we want to make the choice, but we already made the choice. Now we're trying to understand it. And it almost was like parallel for me with the journey that I've been on with understanding why I chose my parents. Because I really wanted to know. I've heard all the arguments, I've heard all the people say the different things and all that, whatever. And I'm okay with the fact that I chose them,
Hmm.
but I want to know why. I'm saying that was my thing. And so when I sat down with that and I seen that, I was like, yes, that is the question. Why? So when we deal with people in this type of arena, what would you tell people to go and do in order to understand these things?
To understand other people.
To understand why you made the choice,
Oh,
whatever it was.
yeah. I don't even know. I have to ponder that. That's a deep question. That's a deep question because there's still mind-blowing things that you could think about, right? which is everything around me is from my perspective, meaning that even Tammy, I'm attached to you. We're having this podcast. However, in different timelines, you might have met with me at 2 o'clock.
Yes.
And I'm meeting with you on my timeline at 7:30. I just feel like we connect with people and then decide if we want to keep them in our universe or not. But this is
Yes.
all my universe. Everything I see is mine
Yes.
to enjoy, alter, work on relationships, not have relationships. And I always joke with my partner, okay, we're together in this timeline in my head, but he might have 12 women in his timeline in a whole nother.
Timeline.
Exactly. And at one point we could have broke up in his mind and not in mine. And that's what all these splinters are.
Yeah.
That's what all these splinters are. So the question would be, why did you make the choice? It was because you came down here to feel all the things that you imagined when you were just an energy wave.
Yes.
Energy can't touch things, energy can't see things, energy can't eat things, so to speak. It's
Mm.
just energy.
Yes.
But once inside an avatar, it can then start to experience many more things,
Yes. It's
all that imagination has to offer. So
yes.
you choose whatever it is because you don't want to be bored.
Yes.
Because if
Because
everything's easy, then
we don't even know. You know, we just don't know. And the other thing is, it's like we never die. It's like I tell people, I said, I don't have a fear of death. I don't.
you
Because
neither.
I know that we don't. We go to another timeline. We shift.
Yes, I'm with you. I was thinking about the other day. I was like, wait, if I die, let's just say I die, can I just wake up again and say, no, I want to start right back off here again? Or do I say, yeah, I've had enough of that life. I'll go ahead and be a kid again. That's what near-death experiences seem like to me. Like they have a choice. Do you want to pick right back up, or do you want to go ahead and start over as a kid and begin again? I'm I'm not afraid to die. I could have already died a few times, don't even know it, and I'm just right
I
back here.
did. I did.
Okay,
I
there
think
you
about it.
go.
I'm like, I know. Like because we had the tsunami watch recently, and they were like, everybody was sending me messages, 25,000. That's probably why my phone was off. Everybody was sending me my mom and everybody all across the country. You guys have a tsunami watch. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, wait. It is a watch. It's not a warning.
Yeah,
I was like, we went and got appetizers and drinks. We went to the oil
right.
cafe. It's like, and when I actually thought about it, I was like, if it comes and we go, it's fine because I'll go with David, which is what I want. Like, I don't really, I love him so much. I don't want to be here without him.
Yeah,
So I'm like, that would be okay. And we would probably do it again because we've done a few lifetimes together. I've known and I've felt it when I met him.
yes.
So I was like, we've done this before. I was so comfortable with him when we met. And
Mm,
I am not that person. I'm not that person. You got to get to know me. I got to get to know you before I'm comfortable with you. I'm just not like some people, they just are that way, but I've never been. And because I felt that comfort with him, I knew. I was like, we've already done this before. So I was like, if we die in a tsunami, we'll be all right. We'll be
right.
together. We'll probably come back together. We'll do it again some other way, some other time. And it'll be
Yes,
all right. People will be sad and we'll still be around to comfort them and let them know they'll look. I'll be like my grandma. My grandmother, I asked her to show me a yellow butterfly today, and I looked out that window and there was a yellow butterfly.
that's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, just be here. So I don't have that fear of death like I had probably 20 years ago. I just don't. I'm like, you know what? It'll be okay. I can decide to either go this way or go that way, or I could come back or whatever. Just like you said with the near death experiences, because I had one. Yeah, and it was the most interesting thing. I can still remember. I was 21. I can still remember it. It was just so interesting and vivid, where
Wow.
the angels just came and sat around my bed.
Oh, I love it.
And so I remember this so clearly. Even what is it, 35 years later? I'm like,
Mm,
but they didn't say anything, but they made me feel like I was supposed to be here and I wasn't going anywhere. My doctor thought I was leaving here and even called my ex-husband and told him to come because his wife was leaving here and he needed to get his son.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think about that and I was like, oh, so it's something that I'm here to do. And this is how we think. And even to me transformed how I think about other people dying. I'm like, okay, so and so has transitioned and blah 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 blah. And so I think about it like that. I'm like, oh, they're just gone to another space. Yes, we'll miss them here, but I'm happy for them because they're free of the skin suit. They travel anywhere they want to go and not have to get on a freaking plane and deal with TSA and all these other things.
I know. Eventually, when we all remember, we'll be able to see that just where they are anyways. They're just on the other side of that veil. But we've been taught a certain thing. And once you're programmed with that, you're programmed with it.
Yes. It takes a minute to deprogram.
Yes,
You
it
know, it's
does.
like the name of my membership is Remember Who the Fuck You Are.
That's right.
Because I want people to remember. Because I know it's like we've already, and I've seen this so many times, but we've already lived this life. We've already done this. You and I have already done this interview. We've already
Yes,
done this. It's like we've done it. And lately I've felt it so strongly in so many ways. I'm like, wait, I've already done this. I've already been here. I've already said this. And it's, oh my God. It's almost like it's like a remembering.
right. Yes.
So yeah.
There's so many aspects, again, to life that we can experience. Like right now, you and I are on the journey of, let's just say, like saving the world, right? That's what
Yes.
we're called to do.
Yes.
Hopefully I will get to the point one day where I'm like, I don't need to save the world. It's already perfect. Like,
It's that perspective shift.
exactly. And
Because
so,
it's like, how do you see this? It's and for me, okay, so one of the things that I gave up in the Lionsgate was judgment
mm,
because I felt, and that's another part of my journey that my mother is really judgmental, and she'll probably watch this, but I don't care. But she really is judgmental. I talk to her about it anyway. I tell her, I call her on it. And so I saw that in her, and then I started seeing it in myself as her child. And so when I started, I said, you know what? No, I said, I'm releasing that. And so every time I feel myself in that space where I'm judging something, I pull back and I say, no, I say it out loud sometimes. No, Tammy, you are not judging that. For one thing, that ain't got nothing to do with you. You know
mhm,
what I mean? The other thing is you don't know all the variables. You don't know all the things that are going on in it. And every time I do that, it's like I can see the fruit of it. Like somebody that I judged a particular way. When I heard some other things and some stories around it, then I realized why I wasn't supposed to judge.
yes,
And it's all in this journey and it just feels so good. And
yes,
I feel like a part of what we're doing with the art of perspective is helping people to move away from that judgment.
that's right.
Because in ways we all are going to judge based on our perspective and how we were raised, culture, all these things,
Mhm.
places, people that were in our lives at different times, whatever. And as we do that with this art of perspective, looking at that, we move away from judgment.
Yes,
Because I find that even after we did the first one, some of the things in it was like, especially the whose store is this?
yes,
That was like so powerful,
yes,
but it causes your mind to open to the things. And then the other part too is as we learn how to stay out of our damn mind, leave that fucking ego to the side and drop down into our body and embrace those frequencies that you and I were talking about before we came on. It's just such a powerful time. And even through all of the 3D chaos that's around us, we still are ascending.
yeah,
I can still feel the ascension. And that to me is powerful.
yes,
Powerful.
absolutely. Said.
So share a little bit about the game show and then we're going to land this plane. I have one more question that I have to ask you, but I want you to share about this game show and what your vision behind it was and where you see it going
Oh my goodness.
and who you're looking for.
Okay. So the art of perspective came about for me when people were asking if I was going to be a speaker. when I was going to be a speaker. And I don't want to be a speaker. I see people's eyes gloss over when they're sitting in presentations. Sometimes they get too long, they get fidgety. And I just thought, how can we make it more interactive? Hence the game show. And the most important things about this game show is, like you said, it creates empathy, it creates understanding, it creates unity. Because I truly believe one of the reasons we are here is because you either learn through experience or compassion. So if you don't have the compassion for someone else's experiences that they're going through and you choose to judge them, you're going to experience it. There's no way
Yes.
around it. Spoon
Absolutely.
fed to you with no sugar.
Yes.
So the art of perspective, as we're excited because it did get picked up by Ethereal Network. So
Yeah.
hopefully 2026, you'll be able to watch it. We want to do live versions. We want to expand this into corporate. There's just
Schools.
so many, yeah, schools, there's so many ideas and there's so many benefits of playing this game. So it's lighthearted so that no one feels judged while they're also learning and just doing these mind opening exercises and questions and thoughts and but the most important thing also to convey is that we're all good people. Nobody came out their mom an asshole. Nobody.
Come
That
out your mama's assholes.
exactly. You came out a clean slate with some DNA that had some back programming just so that you didn't have to start from scratch. But then what was nurtured and left from there is what you're working with today. And that can all be reprogrammed as long as you can recognize it. And that's the beauty of the art of perspective.
That is so powerful. I'm so excited about it. We are so excited about this thing, and we know that it's a gift from God. And so just honored to have been chosen to work with it. And I'm just amazed. And so I'm so grateful. So I have this last question that we're going to land this plane. If there was anything in the world that you could change, what would that be and why?
Anything in this world that I could change.
Yes.
Why? I would change, I would change the fact that we aren't given the rules in the beginning. That would be really the only thing because everything else is meant to be experienced. That is the beauty of living. But you need to be able to have the tools. And that's what we're all about. You, myself, and all the people in the communities that we support. It's just about getting the rules, the instructions in everybody's hands. And then they can go and manifest and use their imagination to experience what they're supposed to experience here. And
That
that's
is so
everything.
powerful. Powerful. I love that. And that is different. I don't think anybody else has answered that way in over 200 interviews because I
Oh,
asked that
wow.
all my, yeah. Yeah, that's like my question. I think I had three answers that were similar, but everybody else so different. And it's crazy because I think about it. I asked that question because I think about that. Is there anything that I could change in the world? And so when I get these answers, it's like, wow, that is just so cool because I hadn't thought about that. I did have a
Right.
girl that did, she said she wished she could have everyone get a Welcome to Earth book with their human design. And so that the person could they could have their human design, their parents could have it, so they could understand their particular child's design and all this stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool.
That sounds like a Maggie Tang answer.
It really wasn't Maggie, but it is another girl
Wow.
design. But you're right. But it was. I was like, wow, that would be really cool
Yes.
because I know I told my children something happened one day, and I said, "You didn't come with a manual." I did the best I could with what I knew, and I didn't really have a lot of help. My grandmother helped me a lot when my kids were little. I said, other than that, I said I really didn't have a lot of help. My mother-in-law, I loved her, but she smoked like a chimney, so I really didn't have my kids around her that much. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want them with the secondhand smoke. She like one right after the other. Like we'd be sitting at the kitchen table. You smoke a half a pack of cigarettes while you're sitting there.
Wee. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot.
So I
Yeah.
was like, I don't want my kids around that. So we
Right.
didn't have a lot of that. She was good people and all that, but yeah. And back in the early days, they didn't realize how much damage that did to kids. Back in the 60s and the 50s, kids smoked while they were pregnant.
Exactly.
And wonder why they fucked up the kids' lungs. They didn't know. But yeah, so I said that. I said, I didn't you didn't come with a manual.
That's right.
I did the best I could with what I knew. I learned things as we went along. We both learned. We all learned. So I think that would be so perfect.
So just so we can land the plane, one last thing that could, because we're talking about it, is it to be able to recognize that children have the knowledge of the universe and parents have the knowledge of gravity.
Yes.
So if you believe in reincarnation, they come after us, which means they're closer to source and have more downloaded information from the masses, right? So when we're teaching our children, we really should be learning from them.
Yes.
We're just teaching them how to navigate gravity.
I absolutely love that. And I believe that because I
Yeah.
did that. Like I went against the grain. Like I had people telling me all kinds of stuff. I was doing wrong and this and that, but I knew that I wasn't doing wrong because I did
Mhm.
that because I know that they had the wisdom of the universe. I knew within them.
That's right.
So
Our children more credit, paying
yes,
attention to them, understanding them, listening to them, not dismissing them,
yes,
and empowering them to, because they remember,
yes,
whitewash them.
yes. We try to make them forget.
That's right.
And we try to tell them, oh, that's not real. And like they're with their ifs and stuff like that, which is something because I was reading Will Smith's book actually, and his book is powerful. He talked about the imaginary friend that he had
Mm-hmm.
and how something happened and his imaginary friend disappeared and went away. But
Mm-hmm.
he still had that imagination that you can tell that he has even when you watch him.
Yes.
When he was talking about how different he was and how he felt like he wished he could have been more physical and all this other kind of stuff because his father was abusive. And he said he felt like he should have been protecting his mother, but he was
Mm.
a child. So when you
Yes.
think about all of that kind of stuff, how that comes into play, and you have these kids and you're telling them, oh, that's not real. And I don't know why you always in the clouds and all these things, but
Right.
that is protecting them.
Exactly.
And yeah, so anyway, we could talk about that all day. Um, Crystal, share with the people where they can find you, where they can connect with you, the best place.
Universal Sanctuary, that's YOUNIVERSAL, sanctuary dot love all
I
day
love
long.
it. I love it. Crystal has a .love project. So if you are a spiritual entrepreneur or in the field, a holistic healer or psychic channel medium, whatever, all the things, grab yourself a .love from Crystal because she
Yes.
has the .love website.
Yes. And movement. This will be a movement,
Yes.
an
Yes.
absolute movement. It will change the vibration of our thinking without us even thinking about it.
That is so powerful. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. So, for all of you that are listening, this has been an amazing conversation. And I hope, and I don't hope, I know that you got something from it because if you're watching, you were looking for something. So, I'm just super excited to be here with Crystal because I've been trying to get her on my stage for a long time.
We made
And
it.
that she's come. So, make sure that you are following her and checking her out on her website. The details will also be in the show notes, so you'll be able to click on the links and all that stuff. And we really appreciate you watching, listening, however you came across us. We just thank you. And so we are going to exit right now and just be in that state of gratitude where we know that everything is moving in the right direction. Even through all the chaos and all the things that are going on in the world right now, we know that if you just stay the course, get out of the matrix, tune into your own body,
Yes.
everything is going to be all right.
Yes.
Any
I,
final words?
yep. Remember, what's this? Art of perspective. An
Yes.
eye.
Yes.
I love it. Crystal's
I love
genius.
it too. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. So thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we really appreciate you. Bye
Yes.
now.
Bye-bye.